let's make some black beans. Like I always say, guys, this is how we make it in my house. If you make it a different way, go ahead and make it that way. This is how we do it. And you know what? It varies every single time we do it because I don't measure anything. I'm gonna be using a 12-ounce bag of Sembrador black beans, my favorite brand of black beans. I'm gonna add that into my pot and I'm gonna cover it with water. Okay, I covered them with about 8 cups of water. I'm adding in half of an ají cachucha. I'm adding in 1 garlic clove, 2 bay leaves, and a little pinch of sugar. What I'm gonna do is cover these and I'm gonna cook them on high pressure for 30 minutes. My pressure lid is on. I'm gonna close the vent, turning it on, and I am putting high pressure for 30 minutes. Okay, this stopped, so I'm gonna go ahead and release the pressure. Okay, all the pressure has been released. Let's open it up, see what they look like. Beautiful. See, they're cooked. You can't really see, but they're like opened up. So they're nice and soft, but they're not mushy. See it? Squish. You see that? There you go. They're perfectly cooked, 30 minutes on high pressure. Now all I'm gonna do is in a saute pan, frying pan, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing my sofrito. Once my sofrito's done, I'm gonna add it in here, cook it a little longer, and my beans are done. So let's go make our sofrito. And by the way, guys, this recipe does make a lot of black beans. If you have any leftovers, feel free to freeze them. That's what I do. I put them in Ziploc bags and I freeze them. And then whenever I feel like having black beans, I just pull 1 Ziploc bag out of the freezer, defrost it, heat it up, and I have black beans for the night. So let's get started. In here, I'm going to add extra virgin olive oil. I have my heat turned on to a medium heat. Once that gets hot, I'm gonna add in half of a green bell pepper and 1 small red onion. It was on the smaller side. If it was a larger red onion, I would only use half. And I'm just gonna cook this until the onions are translucent, until the peppers soften up a bit. And then I'm gonna add in my garlic. I don't like to add in my garlic from the get-go because I don't want it to burn. So I wait until my onions and green peppers cook down a little bit before I add that in. I'm using red onion because it's what I have on hand right now. If you have yellow onion, if you have white onion, go ahead and use that. It's gonna be perfectly fine. If you have red bell pepper, you can also use that in place of green bell pepper. If you wanna add both types of peppers, go ahead. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in my garlic. I'm using 4 garlic cloves that I just chopped up and minced really small. There you go. Just gonna add that in. And now to this, I'm gonna add some ground cumin, comino. Some people leave this out. To me, this is essential in my black beans. Oregano. Oh, the smell. I'm gonna add oregano. Oregano and cumin for me are essential in black beans. This is optional. Some people leave it out. Sometimes I leave it out. Today, I feel like adding it. I'm gonna add a little bit of tomato sauce. But before I do that, you see how there are like things like stuck to the bottom of my pan, a lot of flavor. I'm gonna add some vino seco to lift that up. Vino seco, guys, is just cooking wine. I'm gonna add a little bit. Get all that goodness that's at the bottom of the pan. Delicious. The smell in here is outrageous. And then I'm gonna add a little bit, like I said, of tomato sauce. Not too much, just a good amount, like that. And now I brought my beans back. I'm gonna go ahead and put my sofrito right in the pot of beans. And then I'm gonna get this boiling. So I'm gonna turn it on to my sear saute mode. I'm gonna bring this to a boil. And then to this, I am adding some sazon completa, complete seasoning. And this is optional too, but I personally like to add a little bit of sugar in my beans, like that. About 2 little pinches of sugar. To this, I'm also adding salt to taste. Keep in mind, complete seasoning, sazon completa, has salt in it already. So taste it as you go. This is just your preference. And at this point, I'm also adding a splash of white vinegar. I'm gonna let it boil for a little bit, let some of that liquid evaporate, let all of those flavors bind together, and then I'm gonna serve it over some white rice. But when they're done cooking, do not forget to add a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil over the top. Okay, at this point, I already shut off my pot. It's just still boiling. They are perfect. You see how a lot of the liquid has already reduced. I went ahead and I did add a little bit more salt and sugar to taste. Go ahead and taste it as you go, and just make them according to your preference, according to your palate, and that's it. My beans are done. And then, like I told you guys, a little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil once you're done cooking over the top. Trust me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and serve them. A ver. Mira qué ricura. Ahí van. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. Ahí van para plato. Try it, guys. Let me know if you make it.